What's up guys, my name is Kyle and welcome to my very first drum video. I was inspired to do this video because I'm actually a guitarist who has a guitar related YouTube channel, which you can check down below in the description. I'll make sure to link to it. I have always been really interested in drums. Long story short, I have kind of been off and on drums pretty much since I was 16 years old. As of right now, I haven't really played drums consistently in the last couple of years. I got really into it around 2017, and I am a guy who loves to buy, sell, and flip guitar gear. So naturally, I applied that to drum gear as well. Ended up with a whole ton of drum gear just by buying, selling, trading, just because that's, you know, another one of my hobbies. It doesn't necessarily have to be gear related. So I figured, you know what? When I was buying gear and not really knowing anything about drum equipment when I first got into it again back in 2017, I would look for videos on drums and I couldn't really find any. I really couldn't find videos on the drums that I was interested in at the time other than the new kits. If it was like an older kit or even like late 90s, I couldn't find any info, and that always just kind of bummed me out because I'm definitely somebody who binge watches YouTube. So I figured I'm gonna start my own drum thing once I get back into drums, and I've been putting it off, and I just really haven't been playing drums at all lately. And finally, this deal on a Sonor 2003 kit popped up about an hour and a half away from me, and it was a really good deal. And I went, I got the kit, I brought everything back. I was super pumped about it. I posted some pictures on my Facebook, and a lot of the people who view my YouTube channel were like,
you should do some drum stuff.
But I don't want to do it on my guitar channel because I am basically hyper focusing that on guitar gear. So I figured, you know what? Why don't I create a chill second little channel where I kind of go over my drum adventures, over the deals that I'm getting and stuff like that, fixing up drums, tuning drums, and do some decent demos of some of the kits that I own. And honestly, as soon as I really had the idea to kind of set up this Sonor kit that I just got and kind of outline the deal that I got and show you how the drums sound, I lost sleep over it. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you find it helpful. But yeah, on to the actual drums that I purchased. I found a Sonor 2003 kit complete with a snare, 18 by 22 inch kick, or actually I think it's a 17.5 by 22 inch kick, kind of a weird size, a 10 inch rack tom, 12 inch rack tom, and a 14 inch floating floor tom. It also came with a number of stands, a Beto hardware bag, and a DW5000 single chain double kick drum pedal for the grand total of $360. Probably one of the best deals I've gotten on drums, period. The shells themselves are in extremely good condition. The finish is beautiful. I actually bought this stuff to flip it and put the money towards my other guitar YouTube channel, but now I'm kind of sitting here going, I might keep these shells because I just have a sneaking suspicion that once we tune them up and once we get some good heads on them and everything, it's gonna be a really good sounding kit. So if I just sell all the hardware, keep the drums themselves, and keep the DW5000 pedal, I'll be into it for probably like $100. And $100 into a full, complete drum kit with a really nice double kick drum pedal definitely is not something that I would be mad about. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes in this video. I'm going to show you guys how the drums came to me. I'm gonna outline everything that came with it. I'm gonna give you some sound samples of the drums before I actually tune them up or treat them at all. And then I'll tune them all up. I'll throw some of my own cymbals on the set because it did not come with any cymbals. And we'll just do a little playthrough. Now, I am not a good drummer by any means, guys. I am not a good drummer whatsoever. I need a lot of practice, and it's been a long time since I've sat down in front of a kit. So keep that in mind. I'm definitely not going to be able to showcase these drums to their fullest extent, but that's also a reason why I wanted to start this channel. I really wanted to have an excuse to sit down and start practicing drums, start learning new exercises, new techniques and everything, because again, I love to watch people play drums. I love to watch videos of people playing drums. I myself am more into hardcore and metal and punk rock music, so that's the style of drumming that you're gonna hear on this channel. Just a forewarning. But yeah, any excuse for me to get back into drums and kind of take it a little bit more seriously and progress is fine by me. So without further ado, let's check out this Sonor 2003 kit. I'm going to set it up and then I will run you around the kit and show you everything that came with it and anything of note. Let's do it. Okay guys, so I have everything set up here now. Everything that you see here that is part of the kit, other than the throne that I am sitting on, came with this package deal. And again, I paid $360 for everything here. So we've got a Sonor hi-hat stand. This is a 3-leg hi-hat stand. It is one of the stands that unfortunately you cannot move the foot or rotate the bass, so it is really of no use to me because I am a double bass player and I cannot get this thing set up to where the hi-hats are going to sit where they're supposed to sit without it being all over my secondary kick pedals. So that is unfortunate, but I really have no plans of keeping the stand anyways. Over here, we have a Sonor 200 series boom cymbal stand. This actually brings back memories for me because this is the first boom cymbal stand I ever owned. I forget where I got it. I think I got it on Musician's Friend. With that being said, I don't like these stands at all now that I have access to better stands. These ones, they tend to slip because there is nothing, when you tighten them down, there's really nothing on the boom arm itself that has any texture to hold the cymbal or the arm in place, so it tends to move around a lot. Moving over, we have a Pearl boom stand here. These are actually some of my favorite stands. I don't know the exact model number. Again, I'm not as up on drum stuff as I am guitars. I'm more of a guitarist, but I will find out the model number and put it on the screen. I absolutely love these stands, but unfortunately, the plastic piece broke on me. So I gotta figure out how to either fix or remedy or replace that, because the bottom most portion of the stand where it slides in and out, that's probably where you're gonna wanna adjust the most, cracked on me when I was tightening it up. So that was a little bit of a bummer, but I'm sure that we can fix it. If not, I'll try to reach out to Pearl and see if they offer a replacement part for it, because that was one of the things I was most excited for on the entire kit. Over here, we just have a simple kind of lightweight DW straight cymbal stand. So that's pretty cool. In all honesty, this one's a little light. It's a little cheap feeling. I'm not sure if I'll hang on to it and hold out for a better one or not. More than likely, I'll probably just resell it. And then finally over here, we have another Sonor 200 series straight cymbal stand. Not much to say here. It's basically just a 3-tiered straight cymbal stand. So that is where my china is gonna go. This is sort of how I would typically set my kit up, but the stands are a little bit different because usually I have different cymbal stands, different hi-hats and everything, so I can kind of place them a little bit more to my liking, but I think I can make this work, so shouldn't be too much of an issue. I like the Sonor mounting system on this kit. It seems to work really well, and I was able to get the toms pretty much where I'd like. Now these are really deep toms, which I hate. I love that modern toms have gotten shallower because, man, these things sit super high, and I don't like sitting super high on my stool. I like my leg to be at a little bit more than a 90-degree angle, but not by much. If I sit super high, then I really feel like I struggle on the kick drums even more than normal. But yeah, overall, I was able to pretty much get it where I liked it. So inspecting the kit as I was setting it up, man, it's in really good shape. Honestly, I could probably pull the lugs, hit them with like steel wool and polish them up and stuff, but I don't know that I want to spend the time to do that, to be completely honest, because I don't know if I'm going to keep this kit. More than likely, I'm going to turn around and sell it, because the whole reason that I went out and got it in the first place was that Pearl stand. It came with a nice Beto hardware bag, as I mentioned, and it came with the DW 5000 double kick drum pedal. And even though this is the single chain version, I always kind of thought that the single chain versions were inferior. I set it up after having my Iron Cobra set up for quite a long time, and immediately I really liked the DW pedal. It doesn't seem to have too much sway or anything like that. I've got everything locked down nice and tight, and it feels really sturdy. So no complaints on my end at this point. Again, there's really no blemishes to the actual finish. These shells are beautiful. I love the waxed kind of matte finish to it. It doesn't look like there's any marring on the drum shells where the snare would have been kind of rubbing into the sides of the toms or anything, or even on the top. Like, the guy who had this kept this thing really pristine, and he was kind of just like a casual hobby dude who didn't really play drums that much, he told me. So usually when you meet those people, they don't really take that great care of their drums, but this guy definitely did. He took really good care of his drums, and I appreciate him for that. So as of right now, I have not tuned any of these drums, so we're gonna go ahead and see how they sound untuned, and then I'm gonna go ahead and tune them up and see if I can't get a decent sound out of them. I'm not the greatest drum tuner in the world. I sometimes still struggle with individual drums here and there, but usually I can get a kit sounding pretty decent. I've got a Signal mic on the kit. It is an Audio-Technica AT2020 condenser mic. We will have a little bit of compression on the drum track and a little bit of reverb, and that's it. We're not really gonna process this, so you guys should be able to tell what these drums sound like pretty clearly. All right, guys, so as you can tell, they definitely need some tuning. They're not Terrible. They definitely at least kind of match up pitch-wise where they probably should be. I'll probably tune them a little bit lower and obviously balance them out a little bit. I'll tune the snare up higher so it actually has a crack. I'll probably stuff like some sort of thin blanket just touching either side of the kick and the resonant head to mute the kick drum. The kick drum actually has like a pretty nice deep sound to it though. I'm pretty impressed by that. The toms have Remo coated Emperors pretty much all the way around, including the kick drum head, which I thought was pretty interesting. I've actually never played a coated kick drum head, so. And then it has the Evans EMAD on the resonant side of the kick drum. All of the resonant heads on this kit are the stock Sonor ones. So if I really wanted to improve the sound of this kit, replacing them with like some Evans G1 or some Remo Ambassadors would probably be my first move. The top heads, other than the snare, don't look like they've been played all that much, so I could probably still get a good amount of life out of those. I'm not a huge fan of coated heads because I mainly play hardcore and metal, so I like the punch of an uncoated head. I'm gonna go ahead, I'm going to add my own cymbals to this kit, and I'm gonna tune them up a little bit, and then we'll come back, I will re-mic the kit and see what kind of sounds that we get in the end with this thing. All right, guys, so I put a little time into tuning up all the toms, kind of getting everything set the way that I personally would like to have it. Overall, I'm pretty impressed with how this kit sounds, even with the stock resonant heads on it, even with a beat up snare head and everything. Like it's sounding pretty good. So I really think if we replace those reso heads and maybe added just a tad little bit of damping, I could get a nice deep punchy sound out of these, but I'm not mad at the way that they sound when I'm going with the full kit as it is. So yeah, I mean, I am pretty happy with this overall. It sounds really good. So like I said, like I got out of drums for a couple of years. So please guys, my drumming is gonna be rough. It is not gonna be good. I wasn't good when I was practicing a lot. I am definitely not gonna be good now when I actually haven't sat down in front of a kit in a while. I just kind of felt inspired to do a video and kind of get back into drums a little bit recently. So bear with me there. Definitely not gonna be blowing any minds with my playing, but let's just see how this thing sounds as a full kit. right, guys, so overall, I mean, I had my earplugs in, but I think the drum kit sounds good. It felt surprisingly comfortable. I mean, this crash was kind of bugging me a little bit because it's a little bit closer than I'm used to, but overall, everything felt like it was generally in the right place. The DW5000 kit is very responsive, very powerful. I'm sorry, the DW5000 pedal. The toms sound great. Like I said, a little bit more work and I could probably get them sounding really, really good. As it is right now, the kick drum is too damp because I put that big blanket in it. And even though I kind of tried to squish it all together in the middle and only have a little bit of the blanket touch each side of the head, it still overall is just dampened too much. So I'll figure out a different damping solution for the kick drum. But it's very, very punchy sounding kick drum. Floor tom sounds great. No issues with the floor tom. Even the snare sounds really good. Like if I could get an Evans Genera Dry on the head, the single ply one, I bet you that along with like a G1 resonant head on the bottom of the snare, it would sound really good, man. I'm really impressed with these drums. 360 bucks for everything here except for the cymbals. How are you gonna argue with that? And I got a hardware bag out of it too. So yeah, you definitely can't beat that. I think these Sonor drums sound great. And if you guys like this video, maybe I'll do a follow-up where I do replace the resonant heads on these 4 drums and see how good we can get the thing to sound. But yeah, overall, that's gonna do it for me, guys. If you like this video, I would really appreciate it if you hit the like button and maybe shared it. I really love drum stuff, guys, and I'm looking for any excuse to kind of get back into it. And I really enjoy doing YouTube videos. This video was actually a lot of fun for me. So if you enjoyed it, if you have any critiques, constructive criticism, let me know. If you guys know of any good free drum courses where I can kind of get my chops a little bit more up to par, that'd be great too, because then I could demonstrate the drums better for you guys. But really curious to see what you think of the video. I'm definitely going to try to maybe do like 1 drum video a week, maybe more depending on how much time I have between my other channel. But really enjoyed this, and I hope that you guys did too. For my other channel, I have a Sweetwater affiliate link. If you guys want to buy any drum gear, down below in the description of this video is going to be my Sweetwater affiliate link. I'll apply it to this channel too. If you guys buy anything by clicking that link, it costs you nothing extra and I get a little kickback and it'll help me afford heads for these drums. So that would be really cool. Again, appreciate you guys hanging out. Kyle here again, and hopefully we'll see you for the next one.